guys, welcome back to Random Lifestyle Vlog. Welcome to another fragrance video. This time we're going to talk about layering. It's not going to be your regular layering though. It's not going to be like the most mind-blowing layering combos. This is going to be about how I actually salvaged some fragrances I didn't like in the first place by layering them. So if this is something that interests you, and if you'd like to find out which fragrances I actually saved by layering and how, keep watching. So straight to the point, guys, I don't want this video to be too long. We're going to start with this little guy here. This is Olympia by Paco Rabanne. And if you look closely at the dent, you might be a little bit surprised that this is the fragrance that I don't really like that much. So the truth is, it's not that I hate it. I don't really know how I feel about it. Straight from the bottle, it's actually really nice. It's like a casually sexy scent, okay? It's vanilla, it's amber, it's some salty notes. To me, this is like being sexy without trying. The thing is that on me, it doesn't give me anything. It doesn't give me any type of feeling. I don't feel sexy. I don't feel pretty. I don't feel elegant. It just doesn't give me anything, you know? So that's my problem with it. I kind of like it, but I just don't really get it, okay? So with this fragrance, I actually wanted something that will give some edge to it. So the Nomad Eau de Toilette is very different to Eau de Parfum. Eau de Toilette is pretty much oak moss and some lychee. Eau de Parfum, it's much sweeter, it has some cinnamony notes, and honestly, in my personal opinion, it doesn't work as well in this composition as this one. Okay, so we have Olympia by Paco Rabanne and Chloe Nomad Eau de Toilette. So what we get from this? We get like a lot of those like mossy notes covered with this sweet vanilla with some saltiness on top. It's gorgeous, okay? It's gorgeous. It pretty much gives me what was missing in this fragrance in the first place. So if you're struggling with this scent, if you don't know if you like it or not, or maybe you just dislike it completely, try to mix it with this scent or any other like kind of like a chipper mossy scent. Obviously these fragrances work nicely together, but you can actually detect both of them in this composition, so it's not like they're going to create like completely different scent that is almost unrecognizable. No, these are pretty much two fragrances working very nicely together. So the next fragrance I'm going to talk about is Ariana Grande Cloud. Again, quite a large dent here, if you can see. Honestly, guys, I do like the scent. I do like the scent in general. What I don't like about it is the dry down, which on my skin is acidic and flat. So guys, as much as you can survive the opening that you don't really like, with a dry down, you just stick with this dry down, okay? And this fragrance actually performs quite well. It stays on your skin for like, I don't know, 6 hours maybe, and you just stuck with this dry down that you don't like. Okay, so I wanted to work with it. I wanted to add something that will just improve this dry down for me without changing the scent. So since we do have a little bit of smokiness in the scent, I decided to blend it with something that is smoky by definition, which is oud scent. My favorite scent for this layering combo is Clean Reserve Sweated Oud. This is like very, very gentle oud scent, not too overpowering, very delicate oud, and this works perfectly because it does not change the scent pretty much. I mean, it changes the dry down a little bit, it just adds some depth to it, it just added some dimension, but it doesn't really change it that much. So this is like a very gentle oud. Sometimes I blend it with medium strength oud, and this is a little bit different obviously because the oud is more prominent in there. I would avoid layering this with strong ouds because they pretty much take over the scent, and you're left with oud with like a little bit of that. No, but obviously if you want to try it, and then let me know what you think about it. To me, this works best with very gentle oud, but as I mentioned, I don't really want to change this fragrance too much. So next up we have Prada La Femme, and this fragrance apparently is very good. Many people love it. I kind of knew I wouldn't like it. I just bought it anyway because there were so many people just raving about it. And I was like, who knows, maybe I will like it. It's just not my cup of tea, okay? This is like a very clean, fresh floral scent, a little bit powdery, a little bit soapy. It just gives me, a little bit of that hairspray kind of vibe. I don't know, it's just not my thing, okay? And I was really desperate to find something that will work with this fragrance, and let me tell you, it was super easy. This fragrance is perfect for layering. Honestly, it's worth buying this just for layering, even if you don't like it. It works amazing with gourmands, especially with quite simple gourmands, focus on like chocolate, caramel or vanilla. And here's my favorite combo. This is with Kayali vanilla. This is like a very sweet vanilla scent. I love it by itself too, but sometimes I kind of wanted to have more dimension, and these two together they're just amazing. Okay, so I put gourmand on the bottom, because you should always put a heavier fragrance closer to your skin, and then top it up with this the lighter one, which is obviously this one here. Together they're just amazing, and honestly guys, if you own this scent, and that doesn't matter if you like it or not, just try and play with it. Just mix it with some gourmands, if you like gourmands obviously, because I think that's a requirement here. You don't have to like this scent, but you kind of have to like gourmands for these combos. But yeah, try it. I mean, for me, it's just amazing. Okay, so the next combo is a double win for me. Two fragrances that I don't really like mixed together. So the first one is Lalique Amethyst, and this one for me, it's just too much. It's very rarely too much for me. I do like heavy fragrance, I do like sweet fragrances. This is the mix of berries. It's like all the berries you can name pretty much, and some peony to that. And it's just like sickly sweet to me. It almost gives me a headache, okay? So I don't really like it, no. And then we have this Pascal Morabito Pearl Vert. Okay, so this is your green clean Chypre scent, and I'm quite new to Chypres, and honestly I kind of learned to appreciate them. But this one, as much as I like it on the paper, I like how it develops on the paper, on me it smells like my own grandmother, and that's usually not the way to go, okay? This is not what I'm actually aiming at, so definitely this is not something I'm going to use by itself. Tried it, didn't work, okay? So then we have these two fragrances, and what do we get from this? Surprisingly, the green notes from Pascal Morabito blends really nicely with that berry overdose from Amethyst, and what we get is almost like blackberry leaves, you know, that kind of vibe. This is actually quite amazing, but it only works on me on a very warm days. When I just tried it on like a rainy day, when it was a little bit colder, it didn't really work as well. But the combination is actually quite unique, and it works for me. It works for me, so I'm really happy, because honestly, as much as the previous fragrances I mentioned, I potentially could even use them, these two, no. So the next combo starts with this one. This is a Dolce & Gabbana L'Imperatrice. And this is a good scent, okay? This is a good one, but it's just, again, completely not my cup of tea. This is a watery, refreshing, fruity scent. It has some rhubarb, it has some watermelon, it has some kiwi. It is really pretty. It's just not something I use, okay? It's just, I like it, I don't wear it because I just prefer something else. So that's my only problem with the scent, honestly. I had to find a combo for it, because otherwise I could just give it away. So my favorite layering partner to this scent is Elie Saab Girl of Now. So the Girl of Now, I love it by itself too. It's a gorgeous gourmand with some pistachio and almond notes, and orange blossom, obviously. It's very, very sweet, but in a good way. I mean, almost everything for me is sweet in a good way. Unless it gives me a headache, then it's not in a good way, okay? So this is a really gorgeous one. I love it by itself, but it's not something I always want to wear, okay? So these two, when mixed together, they give me this kind of a bitter almonds vibe. I'm not sure if this is something that everybody will love, but to me it's weirdly satisfying. I don't know, I just kind of like how it smells on my skin. Do you know, I actually also like the scent of petrol, so I might be a little bit weird like that. I'm not really sure if this combo is for everybody then, But try it and let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts, especially on this one. If you have these two fragrances, mix them together and tell me if that bitter almond, it's very bitter actually. So if that bitterness is something that is nice, or am I just being weird? But honestly, I really, really like it. Okay, the last one, guys, and here we're going to start with Jessica Simpson Fancy. So this was, I actually really like this fragrance when I first got it. This is like a caramel scent, but it's not sickly sweet, it's not overly sweet, it's not like a dripping caramel or something like that. It's more like those caramel hard candies, you know. It is sweet, but it has some like tanginess to it, so that's why I actually really liked it. And then I got bored. It was different in this case. I got bored really quick, and then I just stopped using it. I tried to salvage it. I tried to mix it with other fragrances, and let me tell you, it wasn't that easy. It will probably be easier with that super sweet dripping caramel scent. With this one, since it had that kind of edge to it, I couldn't really find anything to complement it nicely, because it was either something that pretty much just made this fragrance disappear, or just didn't really match. So finally, I paired it with Jo Malone Poppy and Barley. So this scent, I really like it. I really like it, and I really think it's a really nice composition. It has some like wheat and barley in it. It smells really lovely, but the problem is I very rarely grab it because, as I mentioned before, I do prefer stronger, heavier fragrances with some edge to it. This one is like a very pretty cologne. I mean, what can you expect from a cologne, right? You can't really expect like a head turner. So yeah, I don't really use it that much, but together they are really lovely. So what we've got here is pretty much this scent with the missing bit that kind of makes it more interesting. I'm not bored with it anymore. So what I get from this combination is fancy with an interesting edge to it. So it's not boring anymore. I really, really like how they work together. You just by using this combination, you can probably tell that this is still fancy. I'm not sure if you can figure out that I used the poppy and barley on top of that, because, you know, this being in cologne, it kind of disappears, it kind of just melts in this scent, but it leaves this interesting edge on top of it. So I do really love this combination. I think it's really nice. I don't think it's worth like purchasing those two fragrances to make that combo, but if you have them and if you're just like me, you're not a fan of either of these fragrances, or maybe you just don't use them that much, like in this case, just try it. Just try it and let me know what you think about it. So there you go, guys. These are the 6 layering combinations that saved some fragrances for me. What do you think? Please let me know down in the comments below if you have that type of combinations that saved some fragrances for you. And also, if you tried any of this combination I mentioned before, please let me know what you think about them, because I'm really curious. I'm really curious, especially about the bitter almond one. That one I think might be a little bit controversial, but I would really love to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. For more fragrance content, check those videos on my left side. I'm going to see you very soon in my next video. Take care, bye!